everybody to the LEC post-game lobby after Super Week with Odoamne after Rogue convincingly beat Mad Lions to save their record this Super Week.
Wow, you were like 10-0, no?
Against Mad?
No, this game.
Oh, this game, yeah. I mean, I don't know if people saw it, but like at Drake, I did like literally a big barrel chain, 10-0 GP, stole a Drake. Easy win.
You just really carried the team.
Yeah, I mean, I literally created the thing. Just don't go back and watch the game, guys. Wait, where's the camera? Which one is? Wait, that one? No, that one. But yeah, don't go. Just trust me, guys. Don't go and watch it. I did great.
Yeah, don't go back. But let's pull up the Elder fight, shall we?
Nah, but okay. These images are manufactured, obviously. My contribution was not did only like this, you know. So it, yeah. I mean,
When Ezreal stole the thing,
Yeah.
right?
wait, did he?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
then
he
why,
did.
but when we were like cheering at the end of the round, I was like, oh, Marang, you did so good. You stole the Drake.
No, it was Ezreal.
but Marang didn't say anything. He was just sitting there and
He
thinking.
was like, yes. Anyways,
Yeah.
tell me about this then.
I mean,
Are you dead right now? No, you're not.
no. I mean,
No, you're right there.
I'm in the victory image at the end. I tried to kill still here to save my KD a bit, but it didn't work. Still ended the week with 0 kills. But yeah, I mean, I did my job as a trooper, you know.
Yeah.
What can I say? My performance was absolutely great this weekend.
It wasn't though, and we were
It
talking.
wasn't?
Well, you were. I wasn't. I was like super happy for you that you were able to win this last game, and it's like
Me
a
too.
momentum thing. And you sat here, and I said, "Did you know I went 0-12 over the weekend?"
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I had such a banger start. I think my stats for this week are like 0, 11, 6 or something, or 7 or 8 or whatever. But yeah,
It'd be
it's
funny
definitely...
if you got Keo Player of the Game now.
Really?
No, he didn't. But
I mean, they
just think
should.
it would be
They
funny.
really should give it to me because no one has started so bad in a really long time. So I kind of deserve a special award for that one.
You weren't even in the vote, apparently.
Huh?
You weren't in the vote.
Really? I mean, that's just.
But you stole the dragon, no?
I mean, no one saw my barrels and my dragons still, but yeah, I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. Anyways, if people don't know, and if you're boomers, these guys used to play together on a little team called H2K.
Wow, back when Febiven was
In fact,
infinitely skinnier.
What are you saying, dude?
Bro, I mean, me and Febi go back. I mean, I've known Fabian since he was like 15, and we were just chilling on TeamSpeak, and he had like a little squeaky voice back when he wasn't such a chat like he is now.
You still
but
have a squeaky voice. I don't know. What?
a bit, yeah.
No, when I was 14, yeah, of course.
But didn't you go to the World semifinals together?
No.
Oh no, that was just you.
No, literally Fabian. Okay, so the story is this: the moment we got into LEC, Fabian got a big boy offer from Fnatic, and he was like, "See you, nerds," and then he just left.
Okay.
You know? So we were supposed to play promotion tournament to LEC, but Fabian at that point he was already signed to Fnatic, and he was just playing with us, you know.
Okay.
I mean,
Is that legal?
it was literally okay. It was like that. He was literally okay, maybe not signed, but it was like a
I
done
was
deal.
talking with them, yeah, at the time.
Okay, so
I think this is
officially
like
he was
statute
talking
of
to them.
limitations or something, but it's probably illegal.
I mean, it's
back
been
then,
a
I don't
long
know.
time,
Who
and
knows?
if I'm getting sued, then that's just a bit unlucky, you know.
I don't think you'll get sued for that gameplay, though. You might get sued this weekend.
Yeah.
So let's parlay this into some serious conversations about Rogue, and I'm sure Odo will be so kind as to talk about it because
Yep.
it was really bad until it was good, and specifically the mid lane, the mid game rather, also in this game, the early game also in this game. We can start with this game maybe. So what went wrong in this one? Sorry for that.
I don't know. I think this should be a kill, but I feel like we just kind of misplay. I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's some lack of, I don't know, commitment on us, or on like taking plays or like recognizing what plays are good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're not as sharp or as committed as we were in the split before, and that might be because of like meta. That might be because of like, you know, things that happened throughout the spring split, and maybe there's like, you know, tension or whatever because of like, you know, when you lose finals a couple of times in a row, it's a bit frustrating. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like factors that are coming into like why we're underperforming like that. So it's goes from like gameplay to like, you know, identity of the group as well. And I also feel like it's kind of like the patch where our draft priorities seem to be kind of like bad and all over the place. I feel like we don't prioritize the right champions. We're picking champions that are kind of like outdated or like we felt like they're like good. I feel like our philosophy about the game right now seems to be a bit outdated and a bit off, because it feels like, at least from these 3 games, that it wasn't really clear for us our proper win conditions, and it didn't feel like we had super strong identity with the way we were picking our team comps.
Yeah.
You had the most damage though, look.
Really?
Yes.
I mean,
saved.
That feels good though.
that feels good. I mean, I told you that this game, it does not tell the story of my game.
It was the fake damage. It was the damage you did on the dragon. They added it to your...
But actually, it doesn't show magic damage. It's probably just GP ults. It was like 4 or 5 GP ults that they just stacked up, and then it was like big damage.
Yeah, but you say but you are a super contributor to it in the end, winning the game. I'm sure you got some gold. I'm sure you ulted in the right places. I'm sure your barrels did some damage.
Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah, I did my job. That's all I can say.
So basically, you just named a lot of things, which I think... from the outside looking in, Rogue has always been a team that has had a fantastic support system. You guys have always been able to evolve as the split went on. A lot of teams had different things to do in the offseason, right? We know Excel went to Korea, and obviously it's going well for them. We know BDS went to Korea. We know G2, well, obviously they went to Korea, but they played MSI. What was your offseason like, and do you now feel that you should have maybe done something different?
I mean, since our off-season ended very, very late compared to teams like Excel or BDS, we kind of didn't really do much in off-season. We felt like we just kind of needed I wouldn't say a long break, but we kind of took a break until up until 2 weeks and a half before the LEC started. And then we started our screens and stuff. And I mean, maybe in hindsight it was better to do a bootcamp, but I don't really believe so, because realistically, I think it was a boot camp on old patch, so you probably would have hit the new patch and you would maybe run into the same issues. I just feel like we didn't really use this off-season properly to kind of, talk about what, or do a proper debrief of what happened in spring. I felt like we just took the vacation or the break, and then we went back to screaming, and I feel like maybe we skipped some steps along the way.
Do you feel, well, to me that sounds like it's probably something that should happen, right?
Yeah, I mean, now in hindsight it should have happened, but in those moments you don't really feel like, it was a big issue, It's like you kind of start identifying these issues the moment they slam you in the face, like they slammed it this week,
Yeah.
And now that they're, apparent, now it's time for us to kind of not take what happened in spring for granted. The fact that we made finals like this, because at the beginning of the season it's not like on paper we are a superstar contender for the LEC, and we were gonna on paper win the LEC. So I feel like now it's time to kind of try to go back to what happened in spring and try to just be humble, take this week as a sign that maybe we're not, or us being as good as we were in spring is not something that should be taken for granted, and we need to kind of just humble down,
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine what it feels like to lose the finals, and I think if you actually lose a final, then going into next split, you really want to have a fresh start. You want to forget about everything that happened. You just want to have a new start, I feel like. And also, I feel like the other teams have been stepping up a lot. I think Mad Lions is playing actually very well in early game. They seem very coordinated, and they see you playing in the final. They're like, yeah, we want to be in the final too, So I feel like it's really, teams are stepping up. So it's it's not a shame to, be losing against them, I feel like, from what they're showing so far.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's not really how to say, it's not really a shame or something to admit that we're starting slow, that we're having issues. I believe that every team is going to run into issues, and as you said, Fabian, every team is stepping up, every team made improvement. Mad made a huge improvement with adding Niski, their whole identity change. They're more solid and more reliable, and yeah, just taking all of these into consideration, just need to go back to working hard and fixing our stuff for this week, for this split, because it's not going to be, you know, easy at all. Everyone made the improvement. Everyone wants to make it to the finals. Everyone's like super hungry.
Yeah, super annoying fly. Sorry.
Yeah, I got again.
Again.
Ganked by the fly. But talking about the kind of whole season, right? It's the marathon or the sprint, and I know we say that, but actually the season goes super quick, I think, when you're in it, probably, especially when it's the race for worlds, I feel like. But when you say that every team is probably going to run into some issues at some point, so in one way, I'm a glass kind of half full girl, right? So maybe it's good that this happened week one, because now you can take all of that you remember that you still have to kind of talk about and work through. You can use everything you've seen this weekend, plus the patch stuff. You can steal homework from other teams. So, you know, does that make you hopeful about the work that you can do this week?
I mean, yeah, definitely, because when you reach, I mean, I wouldn't really say like a crisis point, but when...
Breaking point?
Good one. we do miss some breaking points in esports. We need some fresh ones to come out.
In Europe, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, when you reach a point when, I mean, for us being 0-2 against like, you know, Fnatic and G2, yeah, you could say that they're like top teams and stuff, but we also considered ourselves to be like a really good team coming into this like weekend, and in a way it kind of like hurts your ego, I guess, as competitors, because if you consider yourself a top team and you lose to like teams that you feel like you should beat if you want to be the best, then your ego will get hurt. And yeah, I mean, I feel like when you reach a point like this, where it's like a wake-up call, when the good teams are beating you up, and then it's like you're not as good as you think. Now it's maybe the fresh start that we should have discussed in the off-season, as you said earlier, that maybe the issues that we had that we should have brought up, now they're getting brought up because you reach the point where, I mean, it's early to say you're 0-2, there's a long split, but you kind of get to the point where you have nothing to lose because your ego is just so hurt, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, just fix your problems now. Now it's like your fresh start. You have nothing to lose from this point on, and it's the biggest reality check that you can get.
Do you have trouble with your ego sometimes? I mean that like in a very serious way.
Like personally, or
yeah.
I would say that I manage it fairly well. I would say that, you know, having like my last 3 splits in a row have been, I think, maybe the best splits that I had so far in my career. And I do feel like when you have so many splits in a row that are really, really good, you do feel on top of the world, you know. And I wouldn't say there's like an ego where I'm like, oh, I'm the best, I'm better than I'm better than everyone, and so on. But it's more like that sort of ego where I wouldn't say that you feel like untouchable, but there are things that you start to miss. Like small things that like you start to miss that kind of like add up in a big picture over time. And I feel like in a way that happened to me as well. Wouldn't say that I was like super cocky coming into the split anyway, but I did have like maybe a better image of myself.
Okay.
Actually, I forgot what I wanted to say. My brain is fried.
I want to talk. Do you ever have trouble with ego, Fabian?
Trouble with ego?
You or your teammates?
No, Fabian had great ego control.
I mean, the word ego, like what is it exactly?
It means self, but it usually means like that you think too highly of yourself, perhaps, in cases.
I mean, it's a fine line.
Well, obviously, when you have a lot of success, right, I think that, yeah, you kind of, I don't know, for me, I kind of set expectations for myself and my team. So let's say we go 18-0, right? Or like you have like...
That actually happened, so...
Yeah, you have like the very big win streak, right? At some point, when you're all playing so well, you have, and then you play a game like, for example, this one with your team, that you think that it's unacceptable. You know what I mean? Like when I had some games with my previous teams, I was like, this is not acceptable. We cannot play like this. If we play like this for the next weeks, we will not make playoffs.
Was it an NA or?
No, this was actually in Misfits, where it was like the last 4 weeks, and we had to win 2. So like, some you have to step up. Like it's not acceptable to die 2v2 or to die to a gank or something like this, you know?
I think that's a good application of it, right?
I mean, it's also a fine line, because you get at the point where, like, let's say you have like a big win streak. You have like, I don't know, let's say 10 wins in a row, and then you start noticing things that are like kind of not, you know, as they should be. There's like mistakes, and then there's a lot of like stuff you need to like decide. Do you want to like potentially hurt the team dynamic by bringing up issues, or do you want to kind of keep going on the little happy cloud that you have and stuff like this? And there's like a lot of stuff that you need to kind of decide on what you should and shouldn't bring up and what's like beneficial in the long run. Sometimes you need, if you want to put like a band-aid on something, and then you find like a better moment to kind of tackle that issue and stuff. So I feel like it's a lot more complex than, you know, for example, you either have an ego or you don't have an ego. Because, yeah, I mean, there's just deep-rooted stuff, I guess, that, I know, just goes in every direction. You just need to kind of figure out where you want to tackle this issue from.
That's super interesting because obviously we can never get into kind of the deep nitty-gritty of each team because that would be impossible because it's your business. But it's true, I guess. In every route, there may be, oh, should I bring this up now? But I know that this person might get a little bit tilted because it's about them and they're doing well right now, so let's keep going. And then sometimes it blows up in your face, right? But it's such a delicate, intricate way of doing things. But I think that with all we've seen from Rogue, you said on paper we don't maybe look like a championship team. I think you totally do. And I think the proof is in the pudding with what we have seen from all of you in the last couple of splits, right? And I don't think the fans are worried at all. And you got to win, so it's 1-2. So
banger,
absolute banger. So let's take a look at the standings then, where G2 is still undefeated, and then we have 5 teams tied at 2-1. Some people were surprised that G2 were as strong as they were after MSI. What did you think?
I mean, it's kind of like two sides of the coin where, yeah, you could say that they're going to warm up slowly because their break was like super short. They had like a week break and, you know, they maybe want to take it easy and stuff. But at the same time, they're also the team that's like warmed up the most because they played until so much more recent than any other team. They have been like exposed to like better, let's say, scrim culture. I mean, meta is obviously different because of like the new durability changes, but maybe it's actually the same to like what they've had at the MSI. So, I mean, I feel like we like to say that the team that goes like the longest and then they come from MSI and they will just like start warming up or taking it slow. But it's just, I feel like it's just a bit random on that aspect because, yeah, it's just two sides of the coin.
Yeah. I mean, I believe that if you're G2 and you go to MSI and you scrim all those, you know, Asian teams, you're like maybe getting stomped or something in scrims, you know, because obviously it's very different to scrimming EU teams, right? So you will, at least when we were at the Worlds in 2015, we were like getting stomped by Asian teams a lot. And then when we went back to EU, personally, I was like, okay, let me show those guys in EU what we actually learned from those guys and actually stomp them. So I think that's huge motivation as well. Like, for example, Capster, they played like insane game. Like, he hasn't taken a break. He's like playing. He's still playing at his peak, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, also with the crowd buff, of course, it's like...
It's kind of crazy, actually, for Cap specifically. Like, he was talking about it as well. He was saying that the last 2 years were really rough and that was actually quite sad. I think it's probably similar for a competitor like you know? If you had been used to playing in front of the crowd and taking that energy, it's probably something that you missed. Do you feel like Rogue, is that something that was hampering you this weekend as well, or...?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, it's definitely a bit of a different environment that maybe this roster or like, I mean, yeah, this roster needs to get used to because not sure how many of us are used to like playing in front of a crowd in the past, because I feel like maybe finals was Streamby's first ever appearance in front of a crowd, and I'm not sure for Comp how many times he played before in front of a crowd. Same for, I mean, Marang probably played in LCK in front of a crowd a couple of times, or like many more times, and the same for Larson, because I think COVID came at a point where maybe, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the guys from my team started their careers. Yeah. And they didn't really get to experience crowds before like I did and Fabian did. And it might be something that needs to be tackled. We need to, you know, I guess do a debrief or just kind of like take a deep dive on how things are different for us maybe in front of a crowd compared to like in front of like, you know, our own PCs. And there's also like, since Roka was always like so good, you know, online and stuff like this, never in front of a crowd, there's always going to be like this I wouldn't say like story, but this like narrative or idea that now that crowds are back, Rogue sucks.
We didn't say it.
I mean, you were thinking about it.
I implied it, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't think it's true.
But yeah, I mean, we need to see, because if it's true, it's not a shame, you know. It's like, it's something that we need to admit to ourselves and just, you know, fix.
There we go. That's championship mentality. Odo.
Yeah.
Going 0-12 on the weekend.
Never give up.
0-12, never give up.
Let's do it. Okay. Anyways, next week, Friday, we'll be back with 5 more games, including Mad versus Fnatic, which is a summer finals rematch. Wait, summer finals? Oh, last summer finals. Wow, I can't think back that much. I don't even know what I had for dinner yesterday. Saturday match of the week will be Vitality versus G2. Okay.
Sheesh.
And Rogue will play Misfits on day 1. And I don't know who you're playing on day 2. But yeah, what do you think? Misfits?
I mean, they have, didn't they have Spring Split MVP? They do, no?
They do, but they didn't start very well. In fact, they haven't won yet.
Oh, Spring Split MVP seems to be having the same split as I am having right now, but we're gonna see who runs it more next week. But I mean,
you're playing Astralis on day 2. You used to play with
yes, yeah. Oh my God, this battle of the grandpas in the top lane. Oh my God, that's like a banger from 8 seasons ago. Oh my God. 8 seasons ago, that used to be a hype matchup,
yeah.
But now I don't know how hype is going to be next week.
You know what? We're going to make it our featured matchup. That's probably some like photoshops like the ones they do for Jankos, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I mean, for us, it should be a 2-0. I mean, no ego or no cockiness, but if we went to finals and we want to play to the level that we had in the finals, this should be a 2-0 week for us. Obviously, after the shock we had this week, it's not going to be something. We're not going to go into next week and be like, yeah, we expect 2 easy dubs, you know. We kind of have to sweat for it, because at the moment, the way we showed this week is you cannot take a single game for granted for us.
No.
We need to kind of start building on that, on those habits and foundation, and that like even culture that we had in spring. We have to bring it back for summer, and we have to like, you know, sweat for every win now. But yeah, it's gonna be hype. Spring Split MVP day 1, Grandpa's in game 2 in game 2 with Xerxes as well.
Wow.
It's gonna be a banger.
Yeah, it's gonna bang. It's gonna bang. Odo, as always, thank you so much. You're such a good PGL guest, man. I think this was a little sadder than you would have wanted, right? But
yeah, it was still fine. Still, we still got something out of it.
We
it was
did.
Great.
Good
so
session.
let's take a selfie before I say goodbye to everyone.
I love selfies.
Do you?
No.
You hate selfies?
Kind of.
You look so good in photos, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to.
The thingy is falling.
Smile. You good, Febby?
Yeah, the thing is falling though.
Amazing. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, the fans, the players, for your return to the studio. It was incredibly fun having you all back, and we're super hyped to have you back for this entire season. See you all next Friday. Have a fantastic night. We love you. Bye.
Bye.